Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Lost Caravan. Here with our first episode of 2 episodes of Delta Green. I am Doc Rimbo. I use he, she, or they pronouns, and I am your handler for this evening. And I'm excited. Cass, are you excited? I'm pumped up. Like, okay, yes, I see that. Yep, not Colin. Everyone but Colin, because Colin's getting into character.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. We're so glad you're here. We are running this system with an incredible cast, and we've got a really cool story planned for everybody. But before we do that, first of all, I want to give shout outs to our sponsors for this evening. Lost Caravan is brought to you by Hero Forge. You know them, you love them. You've made too many characters on Hero Forge to count, and you've maybe bought a few of them. Go buy some more because they're great. And they help us make cool visualizations of what our characters might look like. We're not using it tonight, but you should still swing by and check it out and come up with a rat folk chrono wizard or something. I don't know. It would be fun. And what's that?
That's very specific. I like it.
It is. And then on top of that, our other sponsor for this game is Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a subscription-based library for royalty-free music. I use it on my streams. Lost Caravan uses it. All the music that you're going to hear tonight has been found through Epidemic Sound. And for my money, it is the best selection of original stuff that won't get you sued to play on stream. So you should go and check out Epidemic Sound as well. Big thank you to both of them. I want to meet this cast, and then I'm going to jump right in because we've got a mission to take care of, and we'll get to that in just a minute. We are going to start by going around the circle, and we will go immediately to my left, to the coolest looking person on the stream. And of course, everybody knows I'm talking about Casa. Casa, you look incredibly chill.
These glasses.
And tell us who you are, maybe who you're playing and what their profession is, and just where else we can find you, what else you've been up to lately.
Okay, hi. So I am Casa. My Twitter is wilding_, and I'm just on there. I just repost TTRPG stuff and dice because they're so pretty. And I am playing Agent Martini, who works for the CIA, some special super part of that just, dips their fingers where they don't belong. So that'll be fun.
Right. Thank you, Casa. Agent Martini, so good to see you. Let's go directly below you on the Twitch screen to our friend Liv in a Day. Hi, Liv.
Hello.
Good
Hi.
to see you. Tell everyone at
So
home
good to
what
see
the
you.
temperature is where you are, because we were just talking about this.
I'm like in a warm, toasty, like 74 or something like that. Yeah. Listen,
Disgusting.
I like seasons. I wish it was a little bit chillier. Oh, and snow, delightful. But what is also delightful is being here with all of you. Hi everyone, I'm Liv in a Day. I use she, they pronouns. You can find me on any social media really under that username. I won't get into the town crier scroll worth of things that I do, but I'm a TTRPG performer and enthusiast. Do a whole bunch of shows all over the internet. If you follow me on Twitter, I will promote them, and you should watch all of them, please.
Yeah,
But today
agreed.
I will be thank you. Today I will be playing Agent Micro, who works for the DEA.
Excellent. I can't wait for folks to find out more about Micro and see how they handle this stuff. What else do you want to tell us?
I was absolutely afraid I was going to say FDA. I thought I was going to panic and say that she works for the FDA, which really would have been funny, but doesn't make any sense as to why she would be part of
Specifically the food end of things. She approves what goes into junk food. That would be great. I'm going to write that down for a future character. Great.
These fries, they were oversalted.
These fries are oversalted. Monosodium glutamate. Is that how you talk when you work for the FDA?
Show me where the MSG is. It's just Batman working for
Show it to
FDA.
me.
I love it.
Incredible.
Where are the other cards going?
Turk, as long as you're talking, you might
Yeah.
as well introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Turk, or Turk Accented on Twitch, Twitter, and any other place you seek to escape the grasp of Musk. I am both here and over on Neon Lights Roleplay. I'm very excited to be in the agent seat tonight. And I'll be playing Agent Michael, who is a Jesuit educator and certainly doesn't have a pass with the Navy SEAL program. But he does.
It's oddly specific that you would say it then.
It's
Yeah,
really
why would you-
weird.
Most
Turk,
people
I'm
don't have to
excited you're
say that.
here.
I don't
I'm
know why
Turk.
you would.
I don't know why you would bring that up out of nowhere. Turk, I'm excited to play this with you. And we said this in session 0, but I'm excited because you've run Delta Green before. And so whenever I get something wrong, I can just look at you. And
I got the book. I'm ready.
Okay, good.
I'm in the index. I got
Excellent.
it.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to it. And now to the man with the bangs. One of my favorite people to play with and one of my goodest friends, Colin. Hi. Hello.
What's up? I'm Colin.
I'm just gonna run a Delta Green game. What are you doing?
Just hanging out. I was just gonna watch,
Okay.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Colin with one L, and I am peeved at the overlay right now. And not to completely call you out, sorry. I'm Colin. I am going to be playing Agent Mythic, who is unlike everyone else who has like a cool alphabet soup like acronym and works for the government or something. I am a college professor at the University of Wisconsin. Go Badgers!
Go Badgers!
Okay.
He is the term he prefers is a crypto historian, and that is not anything to do with cryptocurrency. That is to do with the secret truth they don't want you to know about, and that is they with a capital T.
Gotcha. And
But you also definitely invented cryptocurrency.
But also that it's
was
1994. I can claim it.
I was gonna say that he probably invented the term crypto historian. Like he probably like, well, yeah, that's me. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Great. I can't wait. So terrific. And again, my name's Doc Grimbo, and I'm your handler for this evening. A couple of just housekeeping things before we get started. In terms of content, this is a horror game, and so there is going to be gross stuff and violence. There's going to be guns because we're sort of a para-governmental group. There's going to be scary things. All of our players use safety tools, especially XNO cards and lines and veils and invitations. And so we invite you, if it's just not your bag, that's fine. You can just go watch something else. But we'll rest assured, we're using safety tools and being responsible on our end. Now, I think that's it in terms of housekeeping. And so we are going to jump in. Deception is a right. Truth is a privilege. Innocence is a luxury. Born of the US government's 1928 on the degenerate raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts, the covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor but without glory. Today, 1994, it does not exist, or at least not like it used to, and not according to any official record. But the people of Delta Green still do what needs to be done. They complete the mission, and that mission starts right now. It is October 25th, 1994. And this is the day when a Delta Green team is assembled. And so each of your agents is contacted by who you don't know, and you likely never will. But they make contact with you in the form of a drop that arrives in your hands one way or the other. So what I'd like to do is go around in reverse order, and I'd like to hear from you, where does this show up? And as a reminder, it shows up like a piece of paper. And so, I don't know. Colin, what is Agent Mythic doing when he gets this call to action?
And it has to be physical paper.
It is physical paper, yeah.
Okay. Then I think it's in his Oh, I know a perfect one. Okay. He has office hours at the university
hmm
that literally no one ever goes to. Um no one wants to talk with this guy any more than they have to outside of class. And so anytime anything notable happens, like anytime anything shows up in his office during office hours, it's notable. So I think it's like just an envelope that's just slid under the office door while he's sitting at
Excellent.
his 486 that cost him probably several $1,000s. That is just barely strong enough to run Doom, which he's playing right now during
He's
his office
playing
hours.
Doom
He's
on
absolutely
his
playing Doom.
1994 commercial, and you notice a envelope slide under the door, and we have a very tight close-up of this envelope, and then the sound of him getting up from his chair and walking over, and we see his hand um, and his sleeve, which is undoubtedly something in black, as he picks this up, and we hear him start to open it. Turk, what is Agent Michael doing when he gets this summons?
Uh, so October 25th, we're getting close to Halloween. For him, he's not really planning on dressing up, but he has to help get things set up in the auditorium. They're gonna have a little fall party for the students, and as part of that, he's helping put up decorations in his free time. He likes to work on his own, so he's offered to, be the industrious man about town. And so he's probably just up on a ladder, setting up some fall leaves, some skeletons and stuff, and works his way back down, and just like does that thing where the focus shifts, and there's a little letter sitting on top of his next bit of decorations. And he just
Excellent.
calmly
This
picks it
one,
up.
this one's not in an envelope like Mythic's was. This is just sitting there, and I'll describe it in just a minute. But first, I want to hear what Micro is doing. Liv, what is Micro up to when she gets this?
I think Micro is like rushing in from like one meeting to another. It's getting towards the end of the day, like maybe kind of like an hour or so away. And so she's trying to get all of her work done for the day. When she notices that on her desk, where there was like a pile of paperwork and data
Yeah.
and stuff, now there's this just sitting. You have no idea when it showed up, but
Nope. Yeah, and I think she goes over and she sees it, and then she sort of like does the thing where she looks around to see who left it there, and there's no one there.
hello.
What's Agent Martini doing, Casa?
Well, I thought Martini would be coming back in from a long flight somewhere, and she's just picking up her usual after a long, she's tired. She's picking up a pizza and a 6-pack, and she's heading into one of the safe houses, and she opens the pizza, and there's the thing just taped.
Oh, it's
inside
right on
pizza
top of the
box.
pizza?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But she just ignores it and just eats the pizza first.
She has no emotional response to it. She just sets
She
this
sees it
aside and
just
starts
like,
eating. And we see
another one.
as her hand takes this and picks it up and sets it aside, and we focus in on it. And it is, as you've probably expected, a glossy 8.5 by 11 flyer for Burger King. It is filled with coupons from top to bottom. And it is, by every reasonable estimation, or by anybody else's, if anybody else saw it, it seems like a normal coupon sheet. But all of your eyes are trained to look for something. And you notice that the top right corner of this sheet is taken up by a green triangle overlaid And on that green triangle, the symbol of Delta Green, there is a series of words written. And those words say in bright, cheerful font, "Come see us at our new location, 522 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York, October 27th, 9 a.m." And all of you know exactly what that means. And so you start to set plans in motion to travel to New York City if you're not there already. Who do you say goodbye to? How do you make plans, or do you make plans to travel? No order here. Just let me know.
Yeah, Michael, as part of setting up this job here for himself, has created a kind of narrative about a very sick parent, or both of his parents, I guess. And occasionally, as part of his agreement, is kind of as somebody on standby to quickly take over the few classes he does teach. When these events, medical distress situations flare up. Um, and so he immediately, upon receiving it and looking this over, will tuck it away just into his shirt pocket and head to the administrative office. It's a short conversation. He keeps lesson plans pretty well thought out a few days ahead and sets up, he and also has a reliable amount of coverage that he feels comfortable calling in now that he's, done this so often, or at
Yeah.
least once or twice before. Um, but
And where's he coming from? He's in New Jersey, right?
yes, right. Mo Beard is in New Jersey. It's a little ways out, and he has his apartment's in Jersey City. But of course, he would have to check in first, just because he didn't finish the decorations, and that's going to be a whole thing. He'd probably check in with Alicia just to let her know. She's of course in charge of this. So much energy.
Is Alicia familiar with this, of him taking off?
Yeah, no, she is like, I feel like it's come up just as he's introducing himself, and it's definitely something he's might have had to do once at least before, very briefly. But yeah, just I think even just to get ready for situations like this, he makes it a somewhat regular event, but always a strange scheduling.
So she's not alarmed by this or anything like that, but she, she tells him to stay safe. And there's like a moment of like a possible like tender moment of her like seeming concerned and just like, okay, well, travel safe. And if you want, like, call me and I can tell you about, what's going on with the Halloween plans. You can tell me if you're going to be back in time. And
I'll figure something out, I'm sure. Of course, you never know with these kinds of things. I'll keep you updated, just so you can chaperones
sure.
or
Okay.
something.
Is it your mom or your dad?
Oh, it's my mom this time. There's a
Okay.
bit of
Well,
an
I'll pray for her.
Thank you. And gives her a nod and kind of walks away quickly, though.
Got it. Who's next?
I can go next. So I think it's a lie on two fronts. First of all, Micro has to go. I do not think Micro has any sort of setup. Complete opposite of Michael. It's a lot of like scrambling around and calling in favors of like, can you cover this? Can you cover that? Like, I'm so sorry, this and that, and like
Someone's gotta watch my dog.
Yeah, begging all her colleagues to help with like some of the work coverage, going to her boss and fibbing about, it's my grandmother again, and then like, I need to watch Mariah. It's just and a lot of that of blubbering, I think.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
somehow.
Yes, but somehow it works out until I have to call my sister-in-law, Valerie, and tell her that I can no longer watch Mariah on the weekend. Because now I have a work conference and I have to go to New York, and I completely forgot and I misscheduled myself, and this is definitely something that I have had on the books for months, and I'm just so sorry. I know, I'm sorry. And a
And
lot
where's
of
Micro traveling from?
Oh, Micro is traveling, so probably out of Chicago, because that's, you know, multiple airports. Her office is based in Chicago, but she lives in like an outer suburb, essentially.
Okay.
Mhm.
Great. Who next? Where's Martini? Like you said, she's like in one of her safe houses. You know, she's a
Mhm.
globetrotter. Where's she
I
right
think
now?
she would be in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about New York or America.
So she
but
just
it would
nothing to
be.
do but just kill time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She'd probably call one of the CIA hotlines and just say like, the carnival's in town, so I gotta, and then just doesn't even wait for a response, just closes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't think you even get one. I think in Martini's world, she calls up this number, and like she doesn't even call a number, right? She does the thing where she picks up the phone and she's like, Delta Echo 613 Martini, and then like you hear the phone pick up,
Mm-mm.
right? And she's like, Carnival's in town, and then it's like click, and that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
That's all you need. And what about Mythic?
Remind me, Justin, what
Yeah.
is written in the envelope?
It is a coupon sheet, so many things are written on it. They have a new thing called the BK Broiler. It seems to be a grilled chicken sandwich. But also the most important thing is that in the top right corner, superimposed over a green triangle, is "Come see us at our new location at 522 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, October 27th at 9 a.m." Which is it's in less than 48 hours, 36 hours or so.
So, for one thing, he's smoking in his office, which you're not supposed to do.
Mhm.
And
Playing Doom.
he, I mean, it's 1994. It might still have been allowed. Who knows? And he like takes the coupon sheet.
Mhm.
He commits to memory what's on there,
Yes.
and then he just pulls out his Zippo and just lights it on fire and throws it in his trash can,
Excellent.
and just lets it burn in his office.
Mhm.
And immediately marches down the hall to his buddy Leighton, Dr. Carr, who's
Okay.
another historian at the university, who's his friend.
He is.
And where
is Leighton actually working? Is he like actually doing his?
Yeah, I think Leighton probably
Okay.
is a student and is like actually doing his job.
Right. So he comes in and Leighton's talking to the student. And he's like, just remember, like the Austro-Hungarian Empire was, and like you're interrupting the middle of their conversation.
He butts in and like does the thing where he like knocks on the door frame and then
Uh-huh.
just starts talking, doesn't really wait for like a go ahead thing.
Right.
He just comes in and just Leighton, Delta Green called. I'm gonna have to go save the world or something. Yeah.
What's
so-
Delta? What's a Delta? Who?
Delta Green. Oh wow, I can't believe you don't remember. The shadowy extra governmental organization that I have worked for in the past and sort of secretly control things behind the scenes.
He sort of like nods vacantly and goes, "All right, sure, Doc. Okay, all right."
I can tell you don't believe me. That's fine. I'll be proven right in time. If
I'm
you
sure
could
you
just,
will.
Hey, if you could do me a favor and, well, for one thing, I'm gonna go like literally right now. So make sure my office doesn't burn down. There is a fire burning in there right now.
There's what?
And there's a fire in my office. And also, I think I still have office hours for the next, jeez, two and a bit hours. So if you could cover me for that.
Are you
That would
expecting
be
any
great.
students?
No, come on. You and I both know that.
Okay.
that doesn't happen.
Judy, he turns to the girl. Let's go put out a fire. Come on, Judy. And like this freshman follows him out of his office.
Hey, Leighton, be cool. Catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.
See you around.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. But... And off he goes.
And he just walks right the fuck out of and just like he doesn't drive, so he just like walks out into like it's October, so it's Wisconsin, it's cold. He walks out, throws a scarf on, hops on a bus, and heads straight to the airport.
Nice. No bag.
Nope.
No change of clothes.
Nope.
Nothing. I love him. And
He
so
only
one
has
by
one set of
one.
clothes. This is it. Like you're seeing all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
clothes he has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, a few days later, one by one, everybody draws nearer to Brooklyn. And eventually the day comes. The 9 o'clock hour is approaching. Who's the first to arrive?
Probably me, because I'm in New York already.
Okay.
So
What time do you get
go
there?
over. Exactly 9. I would walk through.
Okay. Just at 9 on the dot, Martini
I mean,
walks
yeah.
through the
That's good.
glass doors of a Burger King, and you are looking around this place, and it seems to be just as advertised, a brand new Burger King. It smells like floor polish, and all of the signs are sort of shiny, and it seems to be empty, except for a crew of minimum wage teens behind the counter trying to figure out how the machines work. And as you scan the area, you notice that there's one customer, and they are seated at a window booth, and they are facing the door. He is a balding, middle-aged man with a respectable belly, and he's dressed in a wrinkled shirt and sport coat. And next to him on the floor is a wheeled suitcase with luggage tags hanging off of the handle, and he is currently eating a BK broiler, and without looking up at you, waves you over to the booth and gestures for you to sit down.
Ooh, I'm a bit hungry. I'm gonna maybe go up and get a burger first.
Okay. Do you say that? Do you just like point and be like, burger?
Yeah. I mean, you have one.
Okay. He shrugs. Who's
Can I
next?
grab that?
Oh, as Marti. Oh, like. Go.
Oh, all I was gonna say was Micro was definitely aiming to be there early.
Okay.
No. Between getting like overwhelmed by the subway system and
Gotcha.
just getting lost late.
Right.
That means Michael can go.
So she has been navigating the subway. Roll me. How about we make our first roll of the game?
Somewhere in fucking Queens
Liv,
right
will
now.
you make me a luck roll? It should be 50%. So we're gonna see how late she is. But you have to roll under a 50. This is a D100 system. Go ahead.
I got exactly 50. This is not a joke.
Wow. Okay.
Right
So
on the
she's
number.
late, but we'll say within 10 minutes. But she's also like sweaty and like dragging
Running
her
all over New
bags
York.
behind her. Yep. Mm-hmm. And
The
so
person yelled at you. It's a grid. How'd you get lost?
No, below
But I
14th
think-
Street, it gets weird, okay?
Yeah.
But if you're late, I would say that probably Michael is there before you. Would that be fair, Turk?
Yeah, I was gonna say as Martini's going to get to get a burger, he'll walk in, scan, understand roughly like, yeah, that's obviously a handler looking person if I ever saw one, and just go and take a seat at the booth. He'll scoot you
Okay.
over, of course. He anticipates probably some more numbers.
Mm-hmm. And again, he doesn't give much of a visible reaction to you being there, but seems to understand why you're there and sort of like nods understandingly. You guys have this silent conversation that only two people who have seen some shit can have.
It's exactly like every time I hang out with any of my guy friends, just like
Exactly.
and just waiting.
What time does Mythic get there? Does Micro get there first or Mythic?
I think Mythic probably got held up. Oh, there was no TSA in 1994.
Nope, there sure wasn't.
Probably still raised some red flags when he just like walked in an airport with no luggage and just like asked for the first ticket to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how suspect you need to be to hold up an
Pre
airport?
9/11.
To hold up an airport in 1994 specifically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know what? I take that back. He probably just fucking walked onto a gate and they didn't care.
Oh yeah.
So I think he like lands in LaGuardia. He knows the New York City subway pretty well because he knows the secret code that's hidden in the way that all the lines intersect.
Of course.
So, yeah, dude, it's fucking runes. Open your eyes, sheeple. So he like hops off at like LaGuardia and rides the subway around for a while, like kind of gets lost in thought and like just rides too far and has to go back, like ends up in like nearly in Jersey.
He ends out in like Far Rockaway, and then he has to come all the way back.
Shit, okay.
Yeah.
Stops at Coney Island on the way, gets a hot dog, hops back on.
As you must.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And then like walks into a BK, like eating a Nathan's, or it has like mustard on his face. And just like takes a look around. Scans for like people that are like, who looks like a suit in here that, you know.
And boy, do you see a booth with suits in it, and there's some dangerous looking chick carrying a tray with a hamburger on it to the booth.
Dangerous hamburger.
Yeah.
And he like wipes like mustard off his mouth and just like comes over, doesn't sit down, just like stands at the end of the table. He's like, is this the secret shadowy table? Or...
Please just sit.
All right, we're just gonna cut with the pleasantries. Sure. All right.
And finally, Micro comes in at that point too.
Oh my god. Is like she leans back out to look at the like address and it's like, okay. And then goes and sits down, sweating in fall, like cold New York fall.
It's brisk outside. It's not sweaty weather, but yeah.
No.
She is.
Hand her a napkin.
She is like really, really hungry.
Carrying like two large suitcases, like definitely overpacked. Thank you. As like she takes a napkin and starts starting herself.
The handler sort of looks around and goes, oh, by the way, this handler is played by Woody Harrelson in the first season of True Detective, but when he's older.
Oh.
Okay. And so he sort of he sort of looks around and he's like, all right, gang's all here. Just a minute. And he reaches into a leather valise and pulls out a manila folder and tosses it on the linoleum tabletop in front of you, and just sort of drops it there. And he says, okay, thanks for coming. On October 11th, John Doe was brought into a funeral parlor nearby, a place called Tomasino's in Queens. We don't know who it is. Looks like it might have been a homeless guy or something. That's not the issue. Dead homeless guys aren't our job. But 2 nights ago, just before we put out the call on the 25th, someone broke into the funeral parlor. He burps and stretches a little bit. He says, someone broke into the funeral parlor and stole the corpse. So this guy was found in a graveyard, and then he goes up missing a few days later. That's our job. So in this file here, you're going to find some FBI badges. Not real, but they've got all your aliases on them and your face. You make up your own reason for being here and looking into it. We're not going to do that heavy lifting for you. You can figure it out. But here are the orders. All right? Need you to identify the nature of the disappearance and whether it has anything unnatural about it. And if it does, then locate the threat and eliminate it. And of course, you'll cover up any indications of unnatural. If in doubt, you go back to the mission. All right? Find out what's going on and make sure nobody else does. That's the most important part. Don't forget, if other people find out about the case, then those people become the case, and it's a whole thing where you gotta kill a bunch of civilians. Anyway, I put a subway map in there too, and what else? What time is it?
I know 5.
Shit, I gotta catch a plane. All right. And he like scoots to the end of the table, and like whoever's sitting next to him, maybe it's Micro, he like budges you out of the booth to get up, and he stands up and he takes this wheeled suitcase, and you can see it's got the luggage tag still hanging off of it, and you see JFK on there, and you see ATL on there, and he basically goes, any questions? Good.
Just one. Just hold on. Just
Oh.
no, let's not run off before. What was your name actually?
My name? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Agent. What are you guys? M-Cell? Agent Muffaletta.
That's going in my memoirs. That's how you will be remembered for eternity. So thank you for that. Agent
Sure.
Muffaletta, you have a great day.
Okay, you too. Oh, wait. And he sort of says, like, he turns around to the booth behind, and he grabs this brown sack with grease stains on the bottom and the Burger King logo. And he drops it on the table. He goes, that's on us. Good luck. And he turns around and walks out. You look inside the bag, and it's a Whopper Junior with fries. There is no drink.
They intend to torture us.
I sip my drink, just make the bubbling noises.
And so you look.
I already ate, and he just like pushes it toward Micro.
Yeah, this whole time Micro has been reeling. First of all, no name. That's great. Second of all, this person just clearly told us not to tell anybody, and now homeboy is sitting here talking about a memoir. Seems pretty antithetical. And the more Micro sits here, she just keeps staring at Mythic, like just staring, trying, very obviously confused about something.
Is it the mustard? Do I still have? You
No.
are looking at me a lot in a way that makes me uncomfortable.
I have never seen you before in my life.
That's not a thing I say to most people I've never seen before in my life. But if that's the way you
So the mission,
Yeah,
the mission is
Mission.
yeah.
the mission.
Good idea.
Hi, Mythic. Nice to meet you all.
Michael. So,
That code name. You just went with Mike. Can I call you like Mike?
I prefer Michael.
Michael, got it.
Got it. Okay.
Martini.
It's good. Martini. Love it. Great.
I'm
Great.
in Micro.
Okay.
How do we want to handle this? Break up into 2 teams. One goes to the graveyard, which the body was found. The other goes to the funerary parlor. Or should we all move as a group until
Now would be a
otherwise-
good time to mention I wasn't really paying attention for most of that. So
We've got a
you tell
missing.
me.
We've got a missing stiff. 2 possible one location where it was initially found, one location where it was kept and stolen from. Got FBI badges, that'll get us a hell of a lot of traction, I assume. So, what? I
Huh.
assume this isn't everyone's first day at the races.
I'm looking at my FBI badge
you-
and then the one that the guy gave. I'm just checking to see which one looks nicer.
They both look pretty good. Both of them would pass. Maybe not under very intense scrutiny.
Hold on just a moment. You said I assume this isn't everyone's first gig, and it's definitely not mine, by the way. I've been doing this a while, but you, and he points at Micro, you did a little noise thing there with your mouth and your face.
That's who I'm referring to. It's not an issue, but I think it should be made clear for everyone that you're new to this.
Yeah.
It's nothing
If
to be
we're doing the
ashamed of.
whole If we're doing the whole split the team, then who's the most experienced should probably take the newbie.
Well, who's the most? I mean, I know my experience, but I don't know the rest of you really.
Well, again, it depends where we feel our skills would be best suited. I'm not exactly a people person, so maybe someone who feels like they could chat up a funerary director and do a analysis of stolen from funeral parlor.
All right. Martini gets up and walks up to Micro and says, I guess it's girls and boys.
You see so much relief on Micro's face. Just so much relief. Uh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Do you need a hand with your bags?
Oh, so this mean I'm going with Johnny Law over here? Then
Johnny Law.
okay, fine.
Oh, wow. I'd be wounded. As long as I
You-
don't go in your manuscript as Johnny Law.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
about
mentioned
that.
that, and I will make a note of it. Do not
Isn't
call him
this
Johnny Law.
supposed to be a secret?
It is.
And
Yeah.
I assume if he hasn't been killed yet, then he has clearance enough to manage it.
I
Something
just don't
like
think anyone believes him. Who would?
that.
and clicks, and Micro immediately her eyes get so wide. You're the crazy professor.
Nope, nope, definitely not. Definitely
My freshman year at university, I had to take an intro to mythology class,
not. Okay.
and you gave us like this whole huge syllabus, and every lecture you like had all these sources and citations about actual proof, and you had a skull that you swore was like forensic evidence. And
And your takeaway from all that, just so we're clear here, your takeaway from my hours upon hours of brilliant lectures was that I am the crazy professor, and now you're working for
oh my
Delta
god,
Green,
yeah.
who kind of shows that everything I said was right. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild how that worked out? Isn't that just something, you know? Think about it, okay? Clearly, I didn't reach you back then, but it's never too late to learn. So here we are now in the present, and let's just try to, learn from this experience and grow as people. Okay, so I think we have a job to do. You two look like you're gonna make a great team. Really love it. Love the aesthetic. It's awesome, wonderful. And me, and definitely not Johnny Law. I will come up with a better nickname for you. I promise.
How's Michael sound?
I love it. In fact, great choice. Me and Michael, me and Michael here. We'll go our own way. And you, Micro, was it? We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
And inside the folder, you find the badges. Martini's been looking those over, just the sort of credentials. And then you also find a couple of addresses for the places in question. And so these two addresses are where you're headed next. One of them is for Tomasino's Funeral Parlor at 7922 Metropolitan Avenue in Queens. It's not that far. It is, oh gosh, I mean, you could walk there in, I don't know, half an hour, but you might want to take a cab or find some other way of getting there. You could probably take the train a stop or two, wind up there. It's not that bad. The other one is for a place called Mount Nebo Cemetery, Neboh. And that's at 8355 Cypress Hills Street in Glendale, the Glendale neighborhood of Brooklyn. Also, pretty close. And so you take off.
Before we go, could we get like a 2-burner system to like a burner phone or something, maybe, or to exchange some contact information just so we can get in touch with each other?
Yeah.
yeah. Before we
Martini's
head off.
got your phone in her hand already?
And this is a giant 1994 cell phone.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'll think about it.
You have it on a sling.
It's a Motorola One.
Oh God, I forgot it.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh
Is there
my
an easier way then?
A car phone.
I don't drive.
Mm.
I was gonna say, I mean, you live in New York, but you don't drive.
Well,
Radios? Radios? Two-way radios? Is that a thing we could do?
you
Like a walkie
could,
phone?
but
That'd be
the
open
question is,
channel.
do you have them? And so you sort of bring that up. What about radios, like CB radios or walkie-talkies? Does anybody say that's great?
I didn't bring such a thing, but if anybody...
I think I saw a pawn shop on the way here. Maybe we could go pick up some.
There's an idea.
Mhm. Boy, is there ever a pawn shop in 1994 Brooklyn? It's like Starbucks today. There's one on every other corner. And so you all sort of walk across the street to this pawn shop, and you're able to pick up a set of two-way radios, and you all find a channel that works, an open channel.
Should we
Thank
have
you.
like a code word or something? Like a Mayday? But oh, that starts with M. That's like our thing, right? So that's kind of nice.
There you
Made
go.
it, yeah. Made it.
Mayday works.
Mhm.
So,
Alright.
checking once you find something, stay in
Mhm.
contact. Don't go to a secondary location without letting the other team know.
Mhm.
Ooh-ah.
What was that last thing you said?
What?
Yeah.
It's like a sound you made with your mouth. What was that?
Apologies.
Poor Mike.
Hoorah!
Oh, we're Marines now. Oh, okay. Ooh,
Alright.
rah.
Go Badgers.
Go
Go
back.
back.
Apologies, Tivvies. Anyway, stay in contact. Stay safe.
Mhm.
Don't do anything stupid.
Alright.
Kind of looks at Martini with like a head tilt towards the newbie.
He just like mouths
We'll
to
try.
Micro like, just do whatever she says. Fine.
And so
Alright, let's
M-Cell
go.
parts ways. They split in half, and two of them hop on a train over to the Mount Nebo Cemetery in Queens, and two of them take a cab a few blocks to Tomasino's funeral parlor in Brooklyn. Let's go to the cemetery first. It's huge. The cemetery plot is enormous, and you can see it. These are real places. You can Google them. But the Mount Nebo Cemetery is a part of a much larger series of cemeteries, all on the same plot of land, right in the middle of Brooklyn. And so it takes you a while to figure out which part is Mount Nebo and which part is some other cemetery. And there's one over there that's looks, I don't know. You're all over the place. And you finally find your way to the Mount Nebo area. What do you do? This is a John Doe. They don't have a name to attach to a tombstone. And I mean, you don't even know when this person was put here or anything like that.
So, just to clarify the story we know going into this, was
Yeah.
picked up at a cemetery.
It was his body was found here.
Okay.
This John Doe. It was on October 11th, which is like 2 weeks ago. not something like that. Just straight to a funeral parlor. Not sure why. Your handler didn't seem to know either.
So I think as they're walking up, groundskeepers might be the best place to start here. At least get an idea. I'm fairly certain we should be able to flash some metal and get them to at least point us in the right spot.
Sure. Remind me, Michael, you got like what, a 60 awareness?
Yeah, I'm pretty aware of things.
Okay.
I'm kind of let me double check here. My alertness is at 60, yes.
Oh, okay. Why don't you roll that for me and see if you can spot someone to talk to.
Sweet. 67 is gonna be a failure out of 60.
You're looking around and there don't seem to be any groundskeepers working today. You do see a party of mourners. Like somebody is there for an actual internment. Is someone there is burying a body. I mean, does Mythic want to roll to see if you can find something useful here?
So you did say one thing that jumped out to me, by the way, was you said that we're
Sure.
not actually even sure if this is the right cemetery because it's a bunch of cemeteries like on top of each other, sort of. So we're
You
not sure
think
if we're the right one.
you think you're in the section, like there's little signs here and there that sort of like demarcate the the different areas, and you think you're in Mount Nebo Cemetery, but it's still like rather large.
Okay.
And since this guy didn't have a name, you don't know if he was buried here or what.
So the way I'm approaching this is I want to scan the place to get an understanding for if you ever go into a cemetery and you're like, okay, that's the old part of the cemetery. Those are the old
Right.
headstones. And like, okay, those are the freshies over there. Like that dirt was just recently turned.
Yeah.
And those are like
yeah.
newer, nicer graves. So he's trying to get a sense for like, what are the new plots around here? So like if someone was recently buried here, where they would be.
Okay. You don't even have to roll for that because as you look around, it is the majority of this place is old plots. These have been here for a while. And there are some mausoleums, like there are the big burial houses called mausoleums. And there are some tombstones that are old and falling over. It's pretty well established. Doesn't seem to be any fresh dirt anywhere nearby. Yeah. Why don't you roll me an awareness check?
Is that
Or
awareness?
Alertness or alertness? Thank you. Yeah.
Alertness. Okay. I am bad at that. I have a 0 in alertness.
Don't you start with 20?
I think you start with 20.
Well, okay then. That's what. Yeah. All right. That makes sense. Oh, that's the baseline. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 60 in search, but I have
Oh,
a
okay.
20.
Sure. Roll me a search check.
Okay. Wow, that
I
was
like
easy.
that.
I got a frickin' 4 success.
Oh, yeah. So as you're scanning this graveyard and looking at all the names and things, you don't see any groundskeepers, but you do see a small shack towards one of the fences that looks like it's a security guard post.
So somebody to talk to get answers.
Probably.
And he like scans around. And he just like tugs Michael's sleeve. Over there. Come with me.
Oh, perfect. Guys.
Mm-hmm. You head over to this little shack. It's one room. It's got a little desk in it, and just sort of a place for security guards to sit when they're not patrolling the grounds. There is a woman inside, asleep at the desk, in a security guard uniform.
Assuming the FBI badges have cover names.
Yep, and they can say whatever you want. You can make up a name for me right now if you want. They're fake names.
Of course, I'm Agent Fatone. This is Agent Timberlake.
She just sort of sits up suddenly, and she's like, "What?
Hi.
Huh?
Bastard.
What?
I hold up the badge.
Oh,
We ask you a few questions.
oh!" And she stands up and sort of like straightens herself. a little bit. She is a woman in her mid 40s. She's black. She has that sort of like security guard uniform, which indicates that she's an authority figure, but also just a security guard. And looks at the two of you and she says, "What? How can I help you? What's going on?"
We understand you had a John Doe pop up somewhere here about 2 weeks ago. We're handling a case related to that, and we're curious if you could point us out to where you found the body and any relevant details that you might have found with it.
"Oh," she says, and she sort of like puts her hands on her hips. "John Doe, that's what you say when you don't know their real name."
Yes. Yes, that is what we say.
"Yeah." And she pretends like she knew that all along. She's like, "Yeah. Um yeah, I could show you where I found him. I was the one who found the body. I'm Marquita Paget," and she like holds out her hand to shake both of your hands.
Oh, I'll shake her hand and then.
Yeah. Shakes
Are you
hands with you.
Fatone or am I? Who's Timberlake? Who's Fatone?
Oh, I'm Fatone, your Timberlake.
Oh, thank you. Okay. It's tempting to say
she's-
he says that out loud, but no, I don't think he's that stupid.
Right.
Okay.
She's like, she says, okay, and she squeezes outside of, through the door past you, and she says, right over here, and she leads you on a walk for a short distance, up a hill, and into one of those areas that has the mausoleums all sort of like clustered together. And once you get inside this little ring of stone houses, your line of sight to the rest of the cemetery is impeded a little bit. It sort of like blocks view, not entirely, but it's a little bit more private. And she walks you up to this spot, and it doesn't have anything unusual, but she points at the ground and she says, right there. I was working and I heard shouting and crashing, and I came over here, and the first thing I noticed, and she points at some of the gravestones which are standing upright. She's like, those were all knocked over. That one and that one, somebody knocked him down. I figure it was this fellow or whoever stabbed him. But I found the body right there, and she points at the ground. I don't know who he was, but we get all sorts of homeless guys coming in here, sleeping in the mausoleums, just trying to find a quiet place, set up with their sleeping bags, whatever. But that's where I found him. And then the cops came. Oh, I'm sorry. She says, should I call you cops? Is that, are you cops? Is that offensive?
Not at all. Just just keep telling us the story, ma'am, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Michael's gonna like look over at that for like a brief moment, like
He fucking.
She says, so I heard it, and I saw all the gravestones knocked over, and I came here, and just there he was, big old hole in his chest, like some sort of weird knife or something. I don't know. And the next thing I know, the cops came and took him away. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And she's like, you can tell she's thinking. Like, it's been 2 weeks, right? I don't remember what I did yesterday. She's like standing there like, I don't know. They said something when they were taking him away.
you recall at all what was mentioned?
Something about how the freezers were full. I don't know.
And this John Doe, the body you found, aside from the large chest wound, did he have any personal effects on him? Anything spill out on the ground?
She thinks again. No, I mean, and that's strange, right? Because usually, like, folks like these, sometimes they'll have a big pile of stuff. I don't know where he was sleeping, but no, he wasn't carrying much of anything.
Hmm. And I'm gonna look at the spot. Does it look like there's been any, stain there from blood and bodily
Hmm,
fluid that would indicate?
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like you to make a roll for that. Kind of roll should we make for that? Either
Uh,
search or forensics or something along those lines.
well,
Make a suggestion.
why not like heavy weapons? No.
Military science.
Yeah, military
Um,
science land. Let me. I can find.
I
something real
think,
quick.
yeah, like a search or an alertness would
I'll-
be okay. Or forensics if you've got it.
I'm just giving it a quick, so I feel. No, it's a search. I'll make a search. 41 on a failure out of 20. He's not good at
Okay.
breaking down a scene unless he's breaking down doors.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to help you out with this. Thank you
Okay.
for joining this. Something I just always wanted to do because it's in like every cop show. Like Mythic wants to like crouch down next to it and do the thing where he like dabs it with his finger and tastes it for some reason.
Sure.
Just it's blood, son of a bitch. Just to see like what the hell happened here.
Yeah, sure.
Search.
Search
also?
is good. Yeah, search would be
is
good.
great. Okay, I like search. Search is good.
If only we had our FDA agent.
Just barely got it. Just barely got it. 58.
Nice, excellent. Well, the good news is that you succeed. The bad news is that it's been 2 weeks, and there's no pool of blood anywhere around here. The rains came and went and washed it off. You do, however, notice that one of the mausoleums nearby has a word written in the top of it. It's Lucaria, not Lucario. That's a Pokemon, but
That is-
it says Luke. Oh, maybe it's Lucania. It's a name, and it looks like to be a residence of people with that last name, and it's Lucania, Lucania, and the door to this mausoleum is slightly open.
So he like bends down and like tastes the dirt, and kind of like twitching his teeth, and he looks across to that mausoleum, and he stands up and kind of like straightens his jacket, and straightens his glasses. Well, Agent Fatone, it appears the dead have been walking, and he like points over to the
And now you
mausoleum.
see it, Michael, and
Mhm.
When you see it.
Was that open before?
I mean, no. Um, I'm usually on the nights, and I haven't come back around here since then.
Maybe.
Roll me a persuasion check, she says.
That's a weird way to phrase that.
That's yeah.
All
that's that's certainly a
Either of you can roll
speak
this.
Japanese too? That's crazy.
strange thing to say.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll actually get one of these. Wow. 49 out of 40.
Oh,
That's
harsh.
rough. That's rough.
That's rough,
Rough,
buddy.
buddy.
She says, I'll need to check with my boss. Wait here. And she goes back to her shack, leaving you alone in this area of the cemetery.
Shall we?
Well, gives us a bit of a time. And yeah, he'll step over.
You approach this door. They open out the doors, and so you pull that ajar door slightly more open and take a look inside, where it's dusty and dark, but there in the back corner of the room there is a blanket that's sort of strung up, tied to some sort of fixture in the ceiling, and there are some other odds and ends of items scattered around on the ground.
Well, I'd like
I-
to start sifting through that. And
Okay.
Like,
Search checks for anyone who wants to look
Tell
through.
me
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
has been sleeping here, perhaps.
Oh my gosh, I made
There you
it.
go, my dude. There you go.
Yay!
14 out of 20.
You did
I-
it.
I
You
missed.
did it. So you enter and you start looking around. It's yes, it's obvious someone was sleeping here. Um, in fact, it doesn't smell great. Um, underneath that blanket, which appears to be like an old army blanket, is there's a tin oil lamp that's sort of hung underneath it, and it looks like whoever was sleeping here, if they stayed inside underneath that blanket, they would light the lamp, and then nobody from the outside could see the light. There are odds and ends of like some stuff is just, I mean, you don't know how it got here. Old cans. There's a bag of like recyclables. There's some layers of clothing. No sign of blood or anything like that. But as you use that check, and we'll roll it over because congratulations on succeeding on the check.
Done it.
There's a set of footprints, and then there's another set of prints that you don't recognize as being human. They have these long digits on the feet, seem to be bipedal. And they move around inside this space, making marks in the dust. Yes, Mythic.
And I do an occult check.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Michael would absolutely. Mythic, gonna want to look at this.
Okay. I have a 60 in occult. I'm so occult. Got 29.
Excellent. So you see these prints, and
Like that music change.
Don't like that
the
music.
music
Oh,
change.
That's bad.
Yeah, you take a good look at them, and you think bipedal, but there at the end of each one of the digits, you see these marks that can be only left by long, sharp claws at the ends of the feet. So you can sort of assume that maybe they're on the hands too, on the upper part of the body. And you also note that it kind of looks like whatever this creature was, it was walking around on the balls of its feet, kind of like it had these bent legs. Now, you can think of a couple things that would match this. In your, could be extraterrestrial, could be undead, could be something that is just not of this reality. And it's hard to say without more information, but definitely not human. And I'd like both of you to make me sanity checks.
Okay. Yes.
Do you just click sanity points on the character?
Yeah.
I think you roll for it.
Mm-hmm. So you click
Mhm.
sanity points to make a sanity check.
Yeah.
It's just like
There you go.
weird that everything
Whoa!
else.
Whoa!
Oh no!
Ooh, that's a critical fumble.
Yup, that's a critical failure, and I'm already not doing great on the sanity of it.
Oh, buddy, we're
Michael-
doing great together right here.
Michael, you know that there's strange things out there, and I think even maybe you had these thoughts rolling around in your head already. Mythic, the same. I mean, you're always thinking about these things. But to see evidence in person, up close, is disturbing. And so Mythic's going to lose 1 point of sanity damage, which is the maximum for this. We're starting with some softball here.
So I think
a critical fumble means you get the maximum sanity loss, which in this case is 1 point. So
I'd like to tie this in, Justin. I think
yeah.
this is whatever this thing is. He's pretty sure internally it's something he's encountered before
Oh,
and is terrified of.
yeah.
So
I like
this,
that.
he like runs his fingers over the stonework and he kind of feels the little divots where the whatever these claws are kind of dug into the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, like, Michael, you would see his like hand like spread out on the stone and like catch himself as he kind of falls forward. And he sits back, and his eyes kind of go wide, and he stands up.
So what is it?
I don't know what it's called, but I think I know what it is. And
You doing all right there, Mythic?
never better.
Low bar?
Low bar. And he like reaches into his pocket and pulls out his pack of cigarettes and just lights one up and starts like furiously puffing at a Marlboro.
And as we have a zoom in on that Marlboro being turning into ash, we will cut over to the rest of the team, who arrive at Tomasino's funeral parlor. Tomasino's is sort of a classic one-story brick with a fake Roman column or Greek column facade in the front, you know? Like they've got the white plaster columns or half columns in the front to give it a little bit of fancy. But it looks like it's maybe late 60s construction. And there's a big sign in front, Tomasino's funeral parlor. But other than that, you don't see anything interesting no signs of forced entry from the front side of the building. And you know this break-in happened within the past 36 hours.
And there's no security around or anything.
Doesn't appear to be, no.
No security cameras of any kind either. I think as we were walking in, Mark
Make me an alertness check to see if you're being watched.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. We're looking at an 11 out of 20.
That is a critical success.
Alright.
With a critical success, you don't see any cameras pointed at the front entrance. You do, however, notice that there is a short driveway around to the rear of the building. It's crammed in this block between other businesses, you know, and apartments and stuff like that. But there is like a very narrow driveway leading to the back. And you think if there's a security camera, it's going to be on the parking lot in the back of the building.
Okay. Nice.
And so do you head back that way? Or do you try the front door?
We could ask for the security footage.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can, I can probably analyze it and scrub it really quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's the easiest way, right? And then Martini walks to the front door.
Okay. You go to the front door and it's got like those sort of like handles, you know what I mean? Like you like that, and you reach out to grab it and it doesn't open. It seems to be locked, completely locked down.
Okay. Is the back open? Should we go check the back?
I doubt if the back would be open if the front is closed, but maybe? Do people usually do that?
If anyone's in there, if they don't want going in, or we could just unlock it. Can I like try to jimmy the lock?
Second break-in in a week. It's a rough week for funeral homes.
It shouldn't be that hard to unlock.
So, which do you do?
Jimmy the lock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Open,
you're gonna
try-
try to bust it in.
There's no cameras
Um,
facing the door, right? So,
There's no cameras in the front, no?
Yeah.
And so you take out some sort of like what do you use to jimmy it? Like do you have like a
I've
use
got a
it-
little.
little
Oh.
bar thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or yeah. Like a.
This, what would this
Yes.
be? I think this might be Oh my gosh, I have no
would you
idea
mean?
what this would be to break into a place. Maybe. Let's do stealth.
Stealth.
How about stealth, just to see if you can like slyly open this door?
Oh no, I can't slowly open the door.
Okay, what did you roll?
At 84.
Okay,
And my
yeah,
stealth is
you
50.
try to give it a
It gets
shot, and just as you
jammed.
start to wiggle, and you think you're gonna have to get a little bit more, so a little bit more, and then a little bit, and all of a sudden the door opens, and there's a person standing on the other side of the door, and it is a man, balding, thin, in a suit, not an expensive suit, but in a suit, and he's standing there, and he like looks like he was heading out, leaving, and he sees the two of you, and he says, "Can
Well,
I help you?"
it's about time. I've been out here waiting.
Oh, I'm
I'm
so
Agent
sorry. Did
Lennon.
you have an appointment?
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
if you
but-
heard. We had a break-in, and so we've shut the whole thing down. We've had to cease our business practices for just a few days while the law gets things cleaned up.
We are that cleanup. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
Agent Lennon.
you're
This
with
is
the
Agent
police. You're
McCartney.
not dressed like police officers.
No, we're not of the simple police kind. They don't.
Can I see some identification, please?
Of course. I'm holding up the card.
Oh,
Yeah. I
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. FBI. Look, it's right there.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I don't know who this character is, but I love them. He says, okay, please, here, come inside. Please, wipe your feet off if you could. And he allows you in, and I gotta figure out, I did come up with a name for this guy, and I've got to find it. Oh yeah, here it is. He says, well, please come in. My name is Cesar Tomasino. I am the director here at the funeral home. I'm assuming you have been brought up to speed with what happened with the break-in. And he sort of like gestures. It's not a big place. He says, I'll give you the tour. He starts leading you through the funeral home. And he says, there's the chapel. And there's like a chapel with like cheap benches instead of pews, and like one of those electric organs in the back of the room, and he says, and right over there are the offices, and then here, and he points down this back hallway, and as you look down the back hall, you see that it leads to a steel fire door. You know, like a door that's like, it's like a heavy door meant for safety and security. And as you look down the hall, before he can even introduce the thing, you see that this steel fire door has been bent away from its hinges. It's almost like it was something reached into that minuscule crack between the door and the frame and bent it over like opening a cup of yogurt. Like what? And it's, he says, I don't know what could have done something like this, but obviously somebody got inside it. I don't know, like rammed into it with a bulldozer or something from the inside of the building, which sounds ridiculous, I know. But I mean, he gestures that way. There you have it. I mean, the only other thing down there is the freezers where we keep the stiffs and, I'm sorry, the departeds. And so I'm going to need both of you to make a sanity check as like you walk down the hall to look at this door and you see like this heavy door being bent like tinfoil.
Oh, it's a failure.
Two failures in a row. Oh no, that was right. That was the stealth
That
first
was
and then the
the-
sailor. Liv, what'd you get?
73.
I got 87.
Okay.
Which is
Not great. Not great. Both of you remove 1 point of sanity. please, as you ponder this door and what could have done that.
Caesar, is there any camera facing
In the
any
parking lot?
footage?
No, I wish. We can't afford a
Oh.
camera. We tell people there's a camera, but there's not.
Okay.
Is that a
Okay.
crime?
I
not
wouldn't
great.
worry about it.
Okay,
Uh,
we'll get a camera. I promise.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should.
Anyway, and he like leads you into this other room. And this room, you'll notice, as he lets you inside, he it's just like a regular door. He just takes the handle and he opens it. And you see that there's no damage that's been done to this door. It hasn't been busted apart. And he leads you into this room that's lined with mortuary cabinets, those drawers that come out from the wall. And there's 6 of them in there. And the one all the way down at the end of the room has been pulled open and still open, and it's empty. None of the other drawers seem to have been disturbed. And so he sort of like points at everything. He says, "That's where the body was, the John Doe. The Emmy's office has been overbooked, and so we've been picking up some of this slack, and they've been bringing some of the bodies here. And then just yesterday morning, I came into work and it was gone.
What time do you come in to work?
At 9:00. Well, 9:15.
Yeah. Traffic's terrible, huh?
Oh, it's the worst. Do you have any questions for me? I mean, you could ask like about the body. I didn't get a good look at it. The lady
Do
from
you
the
have
medical
any-
examiner's office would what?
Do you have any the medical examiners actually would be great.
Oh.
Do you have any documentation files?
No. A woman from the ME came in the day after we got the body and did the autopsy here.
And she left with the files?
Well, yeah, she went. She said she had to go file them, but she said something else. She said she wasn't feeling well. And so once she did the autopsy, I remember why I remember her, is she had one of those camcorders. Do you know, like a video camera with the tapes? And she brought one of those, but she didn't have a power cable for it. So she had to borrow our power cable. And she still has it.
Oh.
She still has the power cable. And we need it back.
You got her name, right?
I'm thinking. Wait, no, I've got it. I've got it. And he, like, you see him like concentrate. He says she was supposed to come back and take the body to the morgue, but she never came back after she went home sick. Oh, I remember her name, Henrietta. And I think that's a good place where we'll take our break. Because I just said the title of the show.
Yeah. Roll credits.
Roll credits. Freeze frame.
He said the thing.
I said the thing. I said it, and you knew it was coming sooner or later. So that's as good of a place as any to take our break. We are going to take a quick bio break. Refill your drinks, get your snacks, retweet the tweet, join the Discord, whatever you need to do in the next 10 minutes. And we'll be back here at 1:45. Does that sound good to everyone?
It sounds great. Thank you.
This sounds great. All right, stay
right.
there. We'll be
So
back in just a
much.
second.
Good boy.
Welcome back to the Lost Caravan and our 2-shot of Delta Green, Henrietta. I am your handler, Doc Rimbo, and this is M-Cell, a group of agents who are working together in the year 1994 to protect you from the unnatural. And, just sort of trying to
Let me just say, viewers in 2022, the unnatural hasn't killed you, so obviously
you're
we
welcome.
succeeded. You're welcome.
You're welcome. We are coming back to this moment when both groups, because they split in half, because this isn't Dungeons and Dragons. They split in half, and they both came up with some interesting information. And so we return to the funeral parlor where Agent Micro and Agent Martini are standing in this freezer for corpses and looking over the site of where a body was recently taken. What is there anything you guys want to do at this point? Anything you want to investigate, or are you going to like radio the others and tell them what you found out, or the floor is yours?
I feel like maybe one of us could radio while maybe the other does like some searching on the door and stuff, like see if there's any telltale like markings or scratches.
You have, I feel like you would be good at searching for stuff.
Maybe let me look at those
Who's
stats.
who's the searchiest between the two of you? Or
Okay,
yeah,
so here's
or forensic-y, or alerty, or
yeah, or you know, there's also criminology.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got 20 in
So-
all of those.
Don't worry, don't you worry. I have a 30 in criminology.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna try. I think Micro has like searched crime scenes before and analyzes data. So I think like,
criminology is kind of like understanding how criminals behave. So you can compare that to this.
yeah, forensics then, or something like that. Like
If I was a terrible creature, finding
if
a
I was a
body.
terrible creature.
With giant claws.
Yeah, or just a basic search if you want to look for anything that maybe the police missed or something like that. Up to you.
Yeah, that'll be easier. Yeah, no, I think point is though, I think Micro gets kind of like gung ho and it's like, yeah, I've done this before. This is just like my job, real life, so I can do this. And it's gonna go over and I guess I'll do like a search. I mean, they're all basically the same. So.
Okay. Give me that search roll.
31. Damn.
Out of what?
Oh, out of 20.
Oh, no.
31. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter how hard you look, you don't see a body. It obviously was taken. But other than that, yeah, in terms of inside this freezer area, this locker, this body locker, you don't see any other signs of activity. Yeah. Make me an intelligence times 5 roll, Liv. So take your intelligence score, multiply it by 5, and then try and roll underneath that.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You can't just throw math at me like this.
Oh, sorry. I can give you a number if you want a number.
No, I can do the math. I got it.
Yeah, 15 times 5 is 75?
75. And I rolled 67.
Woo! The one thing that does click for you in this moment is that you're looking over, you don't see any fingerprints or anything like that. And then all of a sudden you're just like, you look at all the other drawers, and all the other drawers are closed. And this one's all the way at the end of the row.
So either this thing knew exactly what crate to open, there wasn't a search, it knew exactly where it was going, or nobody took anything, but rather something got out.
Both plausible, and yet impossible.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back over to Martini. What are you doing when I go back? I'm just curious.
Is Caesar still there, right?
Caesar is, but
Or has he
if you
gone?
wait long enough, he'll wander off to do other work.
Okay,
Seems to
so
trust
before
the
he
two of you.
leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, before he leaves, I just want him to describe Henrietta.
Oh, yeah, sure. Henrietta, she is like mid-40s, pale complexion, She was kind of businessy, like she had a sport jacket on with shoulder pads. You know, she had shoulder pads,
Shoulder pad. So
and she
no
works for the medical
features.
examiner. Yeah, I don't know if she's
Yeah.
the head medical examiner or an assistant. I've seen her before at functions.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, just go back about your business and find you if there's anything else we need.
And if you find the camcorder, the charging cable,
The charger, of course. That's our
okay.
one of the first priorities, obviously.
Gets back out, leaves the room, opens that little door the same way he came in, and heads back to his office. What next?
Lennon?
Yeah.
I have to
Yep.
do I still have to call you that?
No, it's okay.
Okay. So I don't know, and I was trying to do research, and I was searching, and I was trying to figure it out. But okay, point is I have a theory. I
Mhm.
don't know necessarily if this body was stolen. You know when you can't find your keys, like.
Yeah.
You look through everything. You pull open every drawer. You turn over every like piece of paper that you have. You make a mess. There's no mess here that indicates a search. None of the other drawers are open. None of the other stuff is messed around. It's like either whoever was in here knew exactly where they were going, which is very unlikely,
Mhm.
or something got out, which is also
Yeah, both.
very unlikely.
But so is whatever broke that door. So, you know, it's a good shot. Should we radio in and see what the others think?
Okay. Yeah.
Shh, radio sound.
Mayday. Mayday, mayday.
So there I was, right? I was so I was wandering around the sewer system, and I know that sounds really stupid, but trust me, if I was on the trail of something, there was this thing that was going
Mythic.
around, and what
Mythic.
I'm almost there. I'm arriving to a point. I'm arriving to a point.
Mythic. We got a Mayday. Yeah, Mayday out copy.
Yeah. So something either got in and knew exactly where to go, or our John Doe hopped up and walked out.
Let's talk about this off channel. We've
Mhm.
found some evidence to suggest something was hunting him at the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Something eldritch and unnatural. Be sure you include that too.
Eldritch and unnatural, over.
Thank you.
All right. Let's meet back up at the BK or somewhere else.
Sounds good. Just make sure you guys will get there first. Make sure it's clear.
Mhm. All right. See you. Over.
Michael out. All right, we gotta move, Mythic.
Can I finish my story? Can I
Talk on
Almost
talk on the way. If we run to that security guard, I'm gonna need you to be quiet though.
Fine. Okay, sure. Okay. Let's wow, the BK again, huh? We're going to the BK. Well, imagine what the manager of that place must think. I can't even. Ooh, they're probably
Manager's
very confused by what's
Probably on
going on.
payroll.
So Michael, is that is your name just Mike, and you just use that as your code name, or is it like a biblical thing? Is it help me out here. I'm dying up here. Give me something. What's
My name's Michael. Of course, as all Michaels are, it's derived from the Bible. I'm sorry. I really don't want to go any further than that. We should get moving, though. We can talk about this more later.
doing the whole mysterious thing? Okay, I love that for you. That's
Not
great.
mysterious, just protocol.
Yeah, maybe the agent mystery. There's a. I got your nickname. Excellent. Wonderful. I'm gonna hang on to that one. Yes. Let's. let's walk, let's talk, let's hash it, let's talk about life and the universe and everything. Let's hash
I
this whole thing
prefer
out.
if we kept our discussion to the case.
Really don't like to make friends, do you, Michael? All right, great.
And as you make your way out of the cemetery, you pass by that guard shack one more time, and Marquita is sort of like, oh, she like calls out. She says, "I'm sorry, but I talked, and I don't think we can let you into the mausoleum."
That's all fine, miss. Thank you very much for your cooperation. We'll be in contact with any further questions.
Okay,
Bye now. Bye.
off you go, and you meet back up at that Burger King. It's about 1 PM at this point, and which means that business has started to pick up. Now it looks like a functional Burger King. There are people coming in and ordering food, and it is very different than it was at 9 o'clock this morning. But you do find a booth where all of you can sort of sit together and bring each other up to speed. What does that discussion look like?
Mythic lights a cigarette.
I don't think you can smoke in here.
I don't think they're going to be able to stop him.
I don't see a sign, so carry
There's
on.
a sign right next to him.
I don't see a sign. He's like consciously looking away. I don't see a
stare
sign.
directly at the sign. I don't say anything, but I do stare at it.
If we could go on to the pressing details, if we need to take this on a walk, we can take it on a walk. So, you say that there was no sign of the body being dragged out of there? What exactly did it look like in that?
Like one of the freezer things open, and the door was clamped in by something big with claws.
And only one. And
Only one.
One small correction. The rear fire door, that big heavy steel door, was not clamped in. It was bent out.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So towards the parking lot.
Yeah.
And didn't look like it was pushed out. It looked like it was grabbed and pulled open
Mm-hmm.
and bent,
Therefore, from the outside.
most likely.
Uh-huh.
Although Caesar had his own theory, which was very Caesarish, about a
What is it?
bulldozer
From the
inside the
inside.
funeral
bulldozer.
parlor. Right.
I think we should follow up on that lead. That sounds promising.
You want to spend time
Um,
talking to construction companies that work within the bounds of funeral homes? You absolutely can. But it sounds to me like whatever was hunting our John Doe at the graveyard finished the job. We also found signs of a large thing with claws. Mythic apparently knows some more about the situation. Perhaps you can fill us in on it. Finish your story briefly.
Well, that's the thing, Michael. I'm not so sure I can, actually. This thing, I know it. I know that I know it. In the way, in the way I know my own home address, and the way I know my social security number. I just know I know it, but I don't know with precision what it is. It is certainly dangerous, and you don't need me to tell you that.
Thank you.
For what it's worth, you're welcome.
But
Sorry.
No. Take your time. Though I am finding a concurring link here, and someone can double check me if I'm hearing things wrong, but it seems like this medical examiner and the police are both encountering a number of bodies, such that we had our John Doe story here at Helmasinos.
Mhm.
So, sounds like our next stop is the police station,
Well, and also
or at least the
there's a
morgue.
medical examiner that we should look into. Henrietta, apparently came by with a camcorder, and and also we need to get the cable. We need to get the cord. That's really important. But
Okay, it's
um,
okay, Micro. It's not that important.
he's
What
really
is important?
upset.
Yeah, yeah. They always seem upset. What is important is she, after doing the autopsy, she just took the files and left, and then the body just disappeared. So didn't seem like there wasn't a connection there.
So, we need to hit the city morgue. Clearly, they're experiencing a large amount of bodies. They'll have a staff list. It's next steps.
Yep.
Say we do that, find out what we can, then see where that takes us. Just next steps from there.
Yeah. I think we need to find out why our John Doe was taken. That's,
Seems pretty clear. It's almost a nobody, but was just sleeping out in a mausoleum. No arcane or obscure markings as far as we could tell. Right?
Maybe there's a trend.
Only one way to find out, Micro.
Will you all excuse me just a moment?
Of course, do you need to go somewhere?
Just, there's a payphone out there. I just need to make a quick call. That's all.
We'll be outside. Do you want to sit here? You and everyone else done?
do you want to
Yeah,
drink?
just, it'll,
or something?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay, Professor.
Mythic makes its way out to the payphone outside of the Burger King. What's he doing?
Calling his therapist,
Okay.
which is Dorothy,
Mm-hmm.
who is a pretty optimistic sort of, I wouldn't go as far as to say bubbly, but a pretty upbeat person, who does her best to try to like encourage Mythic to get off his bullshit, but is pretty at this point pretty exasperated with his entire existence, and she now recognizes, given with the benefit of hindsight, that giving Mythic her personal phone number was the biggest mistake she ever made in her entire life.
Yeah, for sure. So you drop in the, what would it be, 35 cents, 25 cents back
Yeah,
then?
it'd probably be a quarter then.
Yeah. And
You know what? He doesn't collect. He's gonna make her pay for it.
Excellent. So you place a collect call, city and state, please.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Name,
Dorothy Meyer.
please hold. Just like cuts you off.
The kids are
and
loving this, by the way.
The kids are loving when we recreate collect calling. And make me a luck roll. I want to see if she's home.
A luck roll.
Which should be about 50, and you need to roll under 50. It's usually 50.
Oh, motherfucker. 78.
It rings, and it rings, and it rings. Does he stand there long enough that the rest of the group comes out of the Burger King?
Yeah, I think he's gonna wait for the. She's got an answering machine. He'll leave a message.
Picks up. Hello. You've reached the home residence of Dr. Dorothy Meyer. If this is a patient calling, please call me at my office during work hours, and I will be happy to set up an appointment. Otherwise, please leave a message. Beep.
Wow. Wow, honestly, it's amazing. Just hearing your voice, it just it's somehow even though I know it's a pre-recorded message, somehow that just sets my mind at ease. Listen, Dorothy, it's Dexter, and something happened. I had one of those moments we talked about where like the kind of memories come back that I can't really remember, but they're there, but they're not. You know what I mean? That came up again, and I'm feeling heart palpitations, I guess would be the term, tachycardia, I guess, and kind of feeling like I want to jump out of my own skin. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to work through it. I'm going to take some deep breaths. I'm going to not let the thoughts consume me, and then I'm going to take a Xanax. So I think everything's going to be fine. I just wanted you to know the only reason I'm calling you, of course, is to let you know that your therapy has really helped, because without you, I would not have these coping mechanisms. So thank you.
Can I interrupt it really quick? You're having this conversation, and as you do, you're like looking up and down the street in a very Jeff Goldblum manner, and you look down and you see about a block and a half away down the street on the other side there is a Days Inn. And so I just want to put that there for the option. You guys haven't decided if you're staying here overnight. Where are you staying? But if you wanted to get her to call you back, that would be an option.
He totally gets distracted. He's like looking up and down, and it's because of the coping mechanisms that you get. Oh wow, look, that is a nice looking hotel. Okay, so I think I know where I'm gonna stay. It's gonna be the what is it? Days Inn, Brooklyn, Glendale. There's probably only the one. I would doubt if there's another one. So yeah, call the front desk, and you know my name, of course. And
Beep.
oh,
The answering machine runs out of room.
he picks a quarter out of his pocket, goes to put it in the machine and call back, and then like, no, Dexter, learn to have restraint. Okay.
Yeah.
And takes a pill bottle out of his pocket, and it does as he says, and pops his Xanax, and goes back to meet everybody. All right, let's do this thing.
I just like to say for the folks watching at home and watching on VOD, thank you for ignoring the fact that a collect phone call wouldn't have gone to an answering machine. It's a narrative. It's all for the sake of the story.
For those of you kids watching, collect phone calls were the shitty way where you could call someone and make them pay for it.
Answering machines were like voicemail, but worse.
But yeah, but significantly worse, and ran out of room.
Yeah, they sure did.
All the time.
Oh my god. Hoop is in chat, and Hoop said, "We had a baby, it's a boy," which is the best collect calling commercial of all time.
Again, kids are loving this.
They love these references.
Just
They're really
these
cool.
Deep cuts.
The rest of the group, you all come out. You find Mythic standing there, like about to hang up the cell phone, and then he does this, or hang up the payphone, and then he does this. You put the coin in, no, and he hangs it up.
And then he pops his Xanax. All right. Oh, everything's fine.
Okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Never bet. Look at me. I'm great. I'm doing just fine. Thank you. Thank you for asking, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No worries.
I'll get us a taxi.
Hey, while I have your attention, Michael, there is a Days Inn right over there. I just noticed it'd be a great place to stay while we're here. Just
Good
put that on
eyes.
your radar.
Good eyes, Mythic. And then kind of walks over and gives you a pat on the shoulder and heads over and starts
Oh,
hailing a
no,
taxi.
no touching. No,
Oh.
okay, but no.
The
Thank you,
taxi arrives, and where do you ask them to take you?
I think we're a pretty serious-looking group. I don't know.
Oh,
If it'd be
let me
too
add
weird to-
this. Let me add this, just really quickly. That payphone has a phone book attached to it by a big silver cable, and it's hanging from the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. I don't ask like to go directly to the New York City Police morgue, but I would absolutely try and get like the closest intersection.
Sure.
Well, second closest intersection, like 1 block off.
So, do you look in the phone book for this address, or do you just ask the guy to take it? Okay. You look through, and there are lots of offices throughout the 5 boroughs. But then you look specifically for Brooklyn, whichever one is closest. You start there, and you find there's no listing for morgue, so you try some other things. Coroner, no, and then you go to medical examiner. And you find the address for the Brooklyn branch of the chief medical examiner's office. And it is at 599 Winthrop.
Okay. I ask for like a block off of that.
Where to?
76th and Winthrop, please.
76th and Winthrop. And takes off. Around Brooklyn in the 90s, lots of shops and car wash places and vacant lots. And you see the city passing by your field of vision and see all these buildings that came up over time. So they're all different heights, like a set of jagged teeth. About the middle of the afternoon, 3:30ish, when you arrive at the ME's office, Brooklyn. And as you get out, you see it's a 2-story office, lots of glass windows around the 2nd floor, and a big drive-up circle where you can like pull in and drive around. And this taxi driver pulls in there and lets you out, and he says, $24.50.
I pay him.
Okay.
I wait robbery. Oh God.
You all, yeah.
$24.50 and $1994. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, Pedro was sweating.
You get out, scoot your way out, and you enter the main lobby of the ME's office, and there is a young man seated behind the desk at the phone, and he is like shuffling papers and stuff. He looks up as you enter. Hi. Hello, welcome. Can I help you?
Absolutely.
He's got a little he's got a little nameplate on the front of his cubicle, and it says Arthur Murphy.
Absolutely, Arthur. Thank you. We'd like to see Henrietta.
Make me a human check. A human intuition check.
Human intuition.
Yeah, it's like an insight check for other systems.
That's what human.
Yeah, yeah. Human intuition.
Success 19%.
When you say we're here to see Henrietta, you see color drain from his face. And he pauses for a minute, and he's like, "Is this a joke?"
If it is, we're not really laughing. Is there
No,
something
I'm not.
wrong? Something we should?
I'm sorry. Who are you people? Why are you looking for Dr. Zimmerman?
We're with the FBI, and we're just
Can I see
doing our
some
job.
credentials?
I flip
Yeah.
out my badge.
He looks at them. He's like,
Yeah.
We and he has to take a minute to compose himself. He says, Dr. Zimmerman has been missing for 11 days now.
Oh, and
She called in sick, and well, nobody's heard from her since then. I think her brother was the one who filed the missing persons report, and the police are looking into it. I'm surprised they didn't tell you that.
No, we're in a
but-
different department, but this does track with what job we're on at the moment. So.
Are you doing missing persons work?
It's involved in our case of work.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. Well, what? I think I'm gonna need a persuasion check from somebody here. Probably Martini.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't want to say too
Persuasion?
much.
Just see how cooperative he is. Yeah, smart.
Persuasion or
Smarter.
charisma?
What's that?
Persuasion or charisma?
Persuasion. You know what? No, you haven't asked him for anything, really.
All right.
If you want to make a charisma
Just-
times 5, we could do that.
Okay.
So multiply your charisma score by 5 and then see if we can roll underneath that just to see if he just generally likes you or not.
So, how do I do that on the sheet? Is it?
Well, I mean,
You should just
yeah, go ahead,
click
Drew.
If you just click the charisma, the green,
The green button.
and then
and then
no modifier.
no modifiers. No.
Okay.
20.
Hey.
How we do?
Yeah.
You do good?
20%.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got
Real
85.
good.
You do real good. He says, all right. What do you need?
Her files, mostly a specific case. A few days ago, she went into a funeral home. Oh, forgot the name of it.
Amasinos.
Thomasino's.
Thomasino's. Yeah, I
funeral.
remember the John Doe. That was right before she
Mhm.
went missing. I can
Mhm.
most of her files. We've just switched over to digital file
Whoa.
collection, and so we're keeping a lot of the details on computers. And I don't have her password, but I can show you to her office if you
Mhm.
want.
That would be great.
Right this way, and he leads you down this long hallway into a very small office, and there is a like big old spaceship-sized gateway computer on the desk, and a number of file cabinets as well. And he sort of stands there in the doorway and watches you for just a minute, and he says, "I'm sorry, what's this? How is she related to this case?"
Well, you said it yourself. She disappeared not days after she investigated.
But you said it was related. Have other medical examiners gone missing, or what?
Have they?
Not that I know of. I mean, everyone else has turned up for work.
He like,
Sure.
okay, I have a line. He's like, obviously we can't discuss an ongoing investigation in detail. So
Oh. Oh, sure. All right. Okay. Well, all I can say is that when she called in sick that day, I was the one who answered the call, and I believe her. She sounded awful.
Mm.
Anyways, I'll leave you to it, I guess. And he hesitantly sort of like backs out of the office and leaves you here.
Thank you.
And so you start looking through her personal files.
We might want to ask him some questions at some point about how she sounded on the phone, any pain she expressed. Something to put on our radars for later.
Definitely.
something. Again, I'm sorry. The benzos are hitting my brain, so I'm a little bit slow at the moment. But I did hear her. Sorry, I did hear. I did hear that person say that there was a computer with a password that we didn't have.
I can do that. I can take care of that.
I had a feeling you might. Would you show us what you can do, Micro?
Yeah. And Micro's
Micro
going to
sits down at
the
that computer.
enthusiasm.
Cracks her knuckles.
Now,
you know.
this is a great time for this. Liv, remind everybody what Micro's computer science skill is.
My computer science skill is 80.
Jesus,
So-
Henry Christ!
I don't need a roll for this. Micro sits down at this computer and
I built
and-
computers, okay? Like I created them.
Excellent, excellent. And she sits there, and how do you do it? Tell me, does she figure out the code externally, or does she like backdoor this thing and like just like plug something into the floppy disk drive and just go to town?
Yeah. I think I backdoor it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In a matter of moments, you are into her personal file system, and you look through there, and you can see all of the cases that she worked on up until the point where she went missing. So everything from, the beginning of the year all the way to the 12th of October. And the last file, chronologically, that you see is for a John Doe.
Mm.
You open it up, and you took a glance at some of the other files, but the strange thing is, in other files, things are rather verbose. She goes into great detail, and she describes she uses all these medical words, and she patients seem to suffer from blah, 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 blah. And when you open up the file pertaining to this John Doe, it's not like shoddy, it's not unintelligent, but it's much more curt and brief and to the point, almost like she was in a hurry. It's like that. She says she performed an autopsy on a John Doe brought to Thomasina's funeral home because of overcrowding. Performed the autopsy there on site and filmed the process. She says using a camcorder. She said patient seemed, victim seemed to be, cause of death seemed to be a stab wound to the chest, right above the heart, severing the carotid artery, and it goes into all this medical detail about it and stuff like that. And then she says, only other remarkable instance is when searching the bowels of the patient, found a small piece of paper with strange writing on it.
What? Okay.
And after that, the report ends. And down at the bottom, there's this little note. And it says, to be finished later. I need to get home. I'm not feeling well. Be sure to do that. She's making little notes for herself.
Yeah.
Like, back to this later. And then it's done.
Okay. I think I relay all that information to the rest of the group and focus particularly on the camcorder. I really think that we need to find this film that she had.
Okay.
any other evidence.
And that note.
The note, yeah.
Anybody who wants to. We could either do this searching of the office, I'm imagining, will take you past sundown. There's lots of files to go through, looking through storage and things like that. But anybody who wants to make a search roll can do that.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
Just start
Yeah.
haphazardly tearing through files. Well, okay.
Oh no.
That's not
Okay.
great.
I'll
Roll20
search.
does not like me. It likes me enough to put it near the total. Never
Oh,
over.
as you
Oh.
can. Holy shit, guys! Oh
No,
my
no.
god!
No.
Wow.
It's still a failure, but you shouldn't have 0. I'm sorry.
Holy crap. Holy
I
crap.
turbo failed. I got a 100, so
Thank
I
goodness we got
holy
something out of
shit
the
failed.
computer. 'cause
yeah,
I'm
really.
gonna say that Mythic's anxiety and paranoia is he's overwhelmed by the contents of this office. I'm gonna have you take a point of sanity damage for that 100.
Seems fair. Seems fair.
Um,
Firm but fair, Justin.
Liv, what did you roll? Did you fail or succeed? Because you're rolling actual dice.
Yeah, no, let me roll. It was, you said search?
Yeah.
You're-
Search. Oh. Oh. I got a 5.
You're the only competent one.
Well done.
I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. This
newbie
is like
showing
yeah.
all of us up right now.
Well, the newbie's feeling that she's got that computer energy going on.
Yeah, newbie's feeling
The
herself
hacker.
right now.
She's a hacker.
She's
Yeah.
a hacker.
And so you're all searching through. It's not that you don't find anything. You find mundane files and paperwork and junk. You don't see any like very personal things. Although you do on her desk, we'll say even with the fail, that there's this like there is a picture of 4 people. And you come out across this framed photograph. Everybody can see this. It's right there. And it's a picture of 4 people. 2 of them seem elderly, probably in their 70s. And 2 of them seem to be in their 40s. You can assume that the woman in her 40s is Henrietta Zimmerman. And she is not just as Caesar described her, but she is, just average woman. And next to her is a man about the same age, but bearing a family resemblance. And the 2 older folks also sort of look like they all come from the same family. But then while you're all sort of looking around, Micro, they're like looking through drawers and pulling things, and they can't find this thing. And the first drawer that Micro opens has this camcorder inside it. And there's still a tape in the camera.
Yeah, I rushed to go put it on whatever, like, whatever we have to play at.
Yeah.
Just open this.
Wheel in the big TV on top
Yeah.
of the metal stand like it's like
I think that's more
thinking
likely at
that.
this point in history. Yeah.
like we have a
I don't think it
substitute
has the
teacher in
little
school
screen
and-
yet. Maybe that's late 90s, but it definitely, you could definitely bring in the substitute teacher cart and
Yeah.
like
I was
So-
hoping she would have one, but it is a very tiny.
or you can run and talk to Arthur, and Arthur will help you find.
Remember those
something to
VHS
watch
tape
this.
adapters where you'd put the camcorder tape inside the bigger tape?
Oh my gosh, remember those?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Anyways,
Wow.
kids.
For the kids.
So you set this up and you plug it in using an adapter and you press play.
Yeah.
And it opens on the same woman from the picture who appears on camera standing in a place that Micro and Martini recognize to be the Tomasino freezer. And she walks away from the camera and she looks directly at it and she says, Assistant Brooklyn Medical Examiner Henrietta Zimmerman, this is an autopsy for John Doe, discovered 11th of October in Mount Nebo Cemetery. And she uncovers the body, and as she pulls back this sheet, you see a man with a scraggly beard, sunken eyes, not clean. It's obviously he's been sleeping rough. And before she even points it out, you can see there she says, cause of death is a puncture wound to the left side of the chest, right above the heart. And it's a lot of the same stuff that Micro found on the computer. All right, she says, preparing to open the cadaver, and she slices it open. And you keep watching. I think I want everybody to make a sanity check. I mean, just watching an autopsy is kind of gross.
There.
This is
What if I'm
sanity
a-
again. This is sanity against violence. So, Michael, you don't have to.
Adapted to hell. Well,
Adapted to hell. Wow. Holy.
Failure.
Failure,
My
failure,
second
failure.
sanity fumble.
Failure.
Got a 99.
And we all lose
Fail.
another point
This is-
as you watch
Going
her
down.
take the rib spreader and crack his chest open.
I'm going down fast, fam.
That's not great. And She says, heart appears to be blah, 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 blah. Liver is slightly enlarged, signs of possible cirrhosis. And she just goes on and on and on. And then she opens the stomach and she says, stomach has. And she stops. And you see her take a pair of forceps and reach into the body cavity. She pulls out what looks to be this tiny, like, rolled up piece of paper. She says, piece of paper, and she unrolls it, and you watch her look at it. And then there's this 30-second span of time where she's just standing there looking at this piece of paper. In silence. And she shakes her head and comes back around. She says, a piece of paper with writing, some sort of, looks like a dead language. I don't know what it is. And she takes it and she sets it aside in a little tray. And then as she goes to complete the rest of the procedure, you see her stumble just a second. She's like, ooh, fumes are getting to me. So I'm going to, and she sort of like swallows a little bit. And she says, I am going to call this good. The wound, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe in ice pick or something long and sharp. I will put this on the back burner until I get back to it. And she walks over and she, click, shuts off the camera. And the recording stops.
Well, I'm no doctor. Well, I guess I am. But that seems like an important piece of paper.
Something we don't want to look at either.
Something
We'll
that
find
might
it,
drive
but
us insane to view. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
certainly true.
Or at least create some kind of disease, perhaps, from interaction. Either
Mhm.
way, we should find it.
Mhm.
I'm
And
not
as you're
familiar.
having this
Sorry, go ahead.
conversation, the door bursts open and Arthur comes in without knocking.
I'd
This
turn off
fucking
the
office
TV.
is
Hey.
ransacked, by the way.
Turn off the TV real quick.
Uh-huh. He
Mhm.
looks around and comes to terms with it and says,
easy.
in case you're interested, I wrote down this is the phone number for her brother. What's her brother's name? And he looks at this like little piece of paper and she says, Carl with a K, and hands it over to you. Carl Zimmerman. He's the one who filed the missing persons report. You guys are gonna clean this up, right?
Of
Neither here nor
course.
there. Listen, if
The timing on
someone
that.
just hypothetically, if or not even hypothetically, I'm sure it happens all the time. When a body gets an autopsy
Yeah.
and things or foreign objects or foreign bodies are removed from the body, what becomes of those?
Oh, well, if they're pertinent to the cause of death, we'll keep them, they usually go to the police in their evidence lockup. If not, we will dispose of them. Why?
What part of ongoing investigation?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
You got it. You're slow, but you got there. Okay, great. That'll be all.
Oh, okay. Okay. And he turns around and leaves.
All
Oh,
right.
go ahead and close that door again.
So the paper is either thrown out, I wouldn't expect that, or with the police.
I don't mean to comment on the nature of American law enforcement, but I should think if they have any concept of what they're doing, they wouldn't throw something like that out.
But they wouldn't, right? They would just see a piece of paper and think,
Or they would try to read it.
Or it's in examination, or it's in the evidence containment. As stated, because it was found on the body and might be relevant to the case, but no one's looked into it yet because it's a John Doe, and their morgue is currently full of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing you are confident of after searching the whole office. It's not here.
We're sure of that. These drawers are fucking empty.
Either way, we should get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We should.
our little receptionist is going to have a little bit too many questions about our activities.
Mhm.
Is
It
the
is.
cable? Oh,
Oh,
is the cable in here?
hold on. I'm gonna roll now.
Hell yeah.
Why not?
That's super important. Hold on.
It's the
In
most
the
important thing.
Right in the same drawer as the camcorder is the power cable. In fact, you used it when you played the video.
Nothing is more important than this.
So you pack up the power cable. Do you take anything else with you?
The tape? We
I
take the
imagine
tape?
so. Yeah, the tape.
Mhm. Michael?
I was thinking like the tape. I'd even take the picture of the people just to confirm faces.
Okay.
Good idea.
And then, I mean, it's on a computer. Micro,
The
you think,
file?
yeah, Micro, you think you could delete that last file real quick?
Can do.
It's easy as pie. You erase any on-site evidence of this autopsy and whatever was in that man's stomach. At least from this office.
Cleanse, yeah.
Oh, Micro, can you see if the files were put on any other servers, or is it just on this computer, or is it connected to a bigger?
Yeah. In this day and age, Micro, I'm just sharing this for you, Liv.
Probably
In
not.
this day and age, I mean, connecting to other computers. What? That's a pipe dream.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, unless somebody printed up this half-complete autopsy and like hand delivered it to the police, it's possible that this is the only copy here on this computer.
And then the paper file as well. Right?
Right. Yeah. No. As you were like asking that, Micro. Because like obviously what you're talking about could never happen.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
AOL came out in 1993. Just saying.
True.
True.
It's a thing.
She's heard
But
about
I
it in some
did-
fringe magazines. Right.
Yeah.
You got 50
But,
free
yeah.
hours.
Did you see if-
CD.
It was emailed to anyone? Or...
Oh, I was gonna say yeah. I think during my search I probably
Okay.
checked to make sure if it was emailed
Sure,
to anybody,
sure.
but probably
Rolling over
not.
your computer expertise, it doesn't look like she sent the autopsy results. It seemed like she was very intent on coming back and finishing it later.
Mhm.
And it doesn't look like she sent it to anyone. But in her emails, you do find several emails to her brother, Carl.
Oh, okay.
Most of them have to do with care for their parents, who are apparently in some sort of assisted living home.
Okay.
And a lot of them have the tone of her encouraging him to visit them more often.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it is dinner time. It's like 5 or 6 p.m. around here. Is there anything you want to do with the rest of your day before you head to the Days Inn? Is there anyone you want to call and talk to, or do you want to swing by the police station or call Carl, or what?
Very quickly, just talk to Micro as we leave. Because,
Okay.
like, what Micro just pulled off, like all this computer hacking and getting all this incredibly relevant information, is extremely impressive. And just as they're leaving, Mythic is like, Micro, just pure curiosity, because obviously, and please don't take this the wrong way, but I have absolutely zero memory of you. What did I give you in my class? What was your grade?
Oh, well, you gave me a B, you gave me an 89, because you lost some paperwork. But then I was able to prove that I did, in fact, do those courses, so then you bumped me up to a 91, which is fine.
Oh, that was you. I see. Well, I'm glad to know you performed well. I thought I was going to have to retroactively change a grade or something, but no, you.
Yeah, no,
I
my
could,
GPA doesn't bother me at all.
I could do that.
You should.
You know what? Play your cards right. We'll see. We'll see how you do. But hey, you're doing great, kid. Really love the work. You've come a long way since my teaching. So, great job.
Thank you.
So, where do you head from here?
Might be prudent to get ourselves a room or several. So I'm going to offer on the way out, as soon as we're out there. I think it might be good if one of us, I mean, I can offer, go get us a reservation for a few rooms at that what was it called? Inn?
Days in. Days in.
Days Inn. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down by the
Uh,
Burger King seems to be where we're putting down stakes. So
I'm not bunking with Agent Mystery. Just saying. Not
what, you
like
don't
my own
trust
roommate.
me?
I didn't say that. I don't want to share a room with you, though. Not the same thing.
Well,
I can get 4 rooms.
That would be
I
great.
also live pretty close.
Wait,
You
really?
guys can get a room, or you could come stay at mine.
You seem like you have a really cool, like,
Oh,
spy
it's
apartment.
just one of those, places that they give, right? It's
Guns behind the
Wait,
wall?
the
not here nor there.
Delta Green gives you a room?
No,
No.
no. Just I'm just they just need I'm just that important. They just need to give me a place to live everywhere. Maybe I'm an actor or something. Just imagine that.
You're definitely an actor of some kind, but not the Broadway type. Let me
I just
see.
don't
Mi-
like
Mi-
hotels.
Michael's the
not-
same thing, but if you want to involve us in whatever you have personally going on, that's entirely up to you. I won't turn down a free room. Lord knows that taxi was quite a hit.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah.
I thought we should have protested that charge, but hey, you were in charge.
It's not beneficial to fight those who work.
I mean, it's not personal for me. It's just a place that I stay in occasionally. Might not
Oh.
next
You have
time. So.
space, beds, couch, pull out, sleep
Yeah,
sofa,
yeah.
lazy boy.
There's a room, big room, and sofas and more room. It's
It's not like
just a bit.
bugged or anything, right?
No, absolutely not.
That's what someone who
Stupid.
bugged their house would say, though. So I
I
don't.
I
would
think we can
bug
trust
my
her.
own house. I mean, you could just pay the premium $200 for a night. Or
How
Premium
much do
at
you
a
think that would
Days
be?
Inn.
I don't know how much hotels
in
go. I
Brooklyn.
don't like hotels.
So you just buy property. Okay.
So we're
That would
staying at the
explain why
super
there's
guy's
so many
house.
places, because you just buy places everywhere you go.
Yeah, no, we're staying at
Yeah.
the letter factory up there, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Should we get some dinner as well? Because I'm kind of hungry.
I was so hoping someone would say something. Okay, yes,
As
please,
long as
but
it's
not
not
Burger King. I'm really full on Burger
Burger
King for the
King.
day.
No.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I was so excited.
McDonald's it is.
Micro wanted
Mm.
Burger King.
I wanted a burger so bad.
So you
There's
all
like a better burger place. Yeah.
That's the local. You must know something, right?
So Martini takes you out to an actual, like a sit down place, a sit down, that's
What does
actually
Martini
decent.
have to drink with dinner?
A gin and
A
tonic.
vodka cran.
And you're all sitting around in this sort of awkward first day on the job type of thing, new workmates, looking back and forth. What do you talk about?
Mythic finishes his story from earlier.
Okay.
It goes on a while, and also he takes bears no recognition of the fact that Martini and Micro were not actually there for the first half of the story. He just picks right up where it left off.
Okay.
And that was how I found Bigfoot in Wisconsin. So,
All the track.
thank you.
All right. And then meal goes on. And eventually you all settle up the check. And then you go to Martini's.
Already at Martini's.
Crash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks
And
like
thus ends the 27th of October. I think here is a good place where we can sort of bring this episode to the close. But here's what happens. We're going to end with a little bit of a scene. We fade out on Martini's apartment. Somebody's sleeping on a couch. Somebody's sleeping on a futon. Martini's in her bed, obviously. We see Mythic searching the apartment for bugs, not finding anything.
Absolutely, every smoke detector is pulled down.
And everybody sort of settles in for the night, and we fade out. We fade back up, and we're back at the chief medical examiner's office in Brooklyn. There is a security guard wandering the halls in the middle of the night with his flashlight out. He passes by one office, another one. We see through a window a clock on the wall, which puts it somewhere around 2:20 in the morning. And as he's walking, all of a sudden, he is startled by this huge sound coming from above him, above the second floor. And he sort of stops and he points his flashlight at the ceiling, pointlessly, and then runs down the hallway to the stairwell, and he climbs up a half flight of stairs to a fire ladder that opens in a hatch onto the roof. And when he emerges onto the roof, he sort of sticks his head up like a gopher sticking his head out of a hole and shines his flashlight around this roof. And as far as he knows, he sees nothing. The roof is empty. But just before we fade out on a distant rooftop, we can see this hulking figure in a trench coat running across a rooftop not far away. And he slowly climbs back down into the medical examiner building and shuts the door, and it sort of clicks closed. And that's where we'll end this week's episode. We are going to be back for part 2 of Henrietta in 2 weeks, which I can't wait 2 weeks. I wish it was next week, but that's fine. And we'll be back on the 22nd. So if you liked this, mark your calendars for the 22nd and come back, and we're going to see how this story shakes out and where the team goes from here. There's lots of possibilities. I love Delta Green, and I love these shotgun scenarios where I just have the facts of the case, and really the story is going wherever you guys take it, and the investigation goes wherever you take it, like an episode of Law and Order. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank everybody who's been hanging out in chat. I see that folks have been very active talking about 90s internet in chat, and I appreciate that very much. And payphones and collect calling and all that. So we want to thank you for sticking around, and of course, a big special thanks to Lost Caravan for hosting this, and to this amazing cast as well. We're gonna go around the circle. I'd like everybody to share who you are, what you've got going on, what your real life name is, and where we can find you on the internet. And I am going to take you around. This is something I do. I'm going to give everybody just something that I really appreciated about their role play during this first of 2 episodes. And so we'll go in reverse order. Colin, I believe that would put you first, right? As opposed to the intros where you were last.
Yeah.
Colin, there's so much to love about Mythic. The bangs, the
Yeah.
absolute rambling insanity of him, and his, I'm sure, future insanity as his sanity score gets to dip. I loved his throwaway line about the runes that are made with the subway maps, and like he mentioned that it was like there was something like arcane about the way the New York subway system is laid out.
Open your eyes, sheeple.
That was fantastic. So thank you for that. Colin, tell us about it.
Hi. Listen, we've had a lot of fun today, but first of all, that is not my real hair. This is normally how it looks. Much better, I think. Man, it's hard to get out of the Goldblum cadence once you've been doing it for like 3 hours. It's like really hard to break that. Wait, is that just how I normally talk? Fuck. Okay, so yeah, I'm Colin, with 1 L. And I'm Colin Omicon on Twitter, and you saw me in chat today and will be in the future as Six String Games. That is a number. Yes, I know you fixed it. I'm just screwing with you, Hoop. I know. I saw it. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I am Six String Games. That is the name of my company that I co-own with my best friend Anna, and we have a new game that is coming out 1 week from today, and it is called Come Play With Us. And it is a Nightmare Before Christmas inspired game in which you all play as toys that are possessed by evil spirits on Christmas Eve. And you have until sunrise to get to the center of the city and complete the ritual, which is always written in all caps. And if you can complete the ritual by sunrise, you get to stay alive forever and complete your nefarious forms. If you don't, all the magic of Christmas fades, and you are doomed to the mundanity of the toy box for all eternity. It's ridiculous. It has some fun random tables where you can roll to see what kind of toy you are, and then what evil thing possesses your toy form. So you can be, for example, a clockwork robot, or a action figure, or a Barbie, or excuse me, a legally distinct royalty-free Barbie. You could also be possessed by a imprisoned malevolent god, a demon bound by an unfulfilled oath, or you could be possessed by nothing and actually just be a highly sophisticated magical automaton, a la Small Soldiers. We're really, really proud of this game, and it's extremely silly and very, very fun, and I can't wait to play it. So it comes out a week from today on the 15th. It's going to be dropping on itch, so that's going to be itch.io, Six String Games.
Will you please drop that into chat too, so everybody
I
has that
absolutely
link?
will. Yes, there'll be a page for it soon, so you can wish list it and get it as soon as it comes out. But I will drop the link to the Six String Games thing where you can see all the rest of our games. We have 3 other games on there. You can purchase. They're all single session micro RPGs that use only.
And you don't have permission to post it.
I don't have. I will send it to Hoop. I'll drop it in. I'll drop it in our Discord here, so you can do that thing.
Excellent.
Yeah, but that's me. Thank you, Justin. This was incredibly fun. I love these people so much. I love these role players so much. This cast rules. I could not. I'm so glad. Let me just like my highlight. I'm so glad when we had the Let's Split Up Gang Scooby-Doo moment at the beginning of the session that I got to go with Michael, because I could not think of a better foil for my rambling Jeff Goldblum ass to be with than the stoic Batman that is Michael. And I was like, yes, perfect. Like, because I wanted to save the like interactions with Micro for later, because we're kind of working with that. And then like I obviously Casa as Martini is like a super spy extraordinaire. So I'm like, she's way too competent for
She
for
doesn't
Mythic
buy
to do
into
this.
his bullshit.
I'm not gonna buy into this bullshit at all. So I was like, Mike, I was
Uh-huh.
like, I was literally sitting going like, Michael.
Yes,
And then
thank
it
you,
worked.
Colin.
It was perfect.
Well, speaking of Michael Turk, thank you for being here. I was going to say something along those same lines, which is that Michael is great to have because he's such a perfect straight man. And not that like all of the characters are silly and ridiculous, but wow, is he just like whoa, he is laser focused, and I love having that dynamic within the group. My favorite Turk moment today was when you were talking to each other on the radio and you used your fucking cell phone like a, like a radio.
Yeah, you got it. You got to get the props involved.
The prop work was top notch. So thank you. Turk, what's going on with you? What do you have cooking? Anything coming up?
Yeah, so I'm Turk or Turk accented on various social media platforms and demonic calling circles, whatever you prefer to use. For me, Sunday we have our one session of Necromancers, which is a Lancer game here on Lost Caravan. We are going to be getting really into the meat and bones of our masquerade Pankrati duel system. So it should be really fun. A lot of poisoning, a lot of mech combat, a lot of romance, and all the fun stuff there. That's been really great for that system and that
Yeah.
story. Beyond that, Monster Care Squad here on the 12th. Through the Breach here, which is of course the Return to Malifaux game, where I'm probably going to kill the rest of the party there. If you like Michael, you're definitely going to like Blue Fingers. He's gonna kill everybody at some point or another. It's just a matter of when, honestly. And then the 14th, where I'll be playing Icon, and that's been a really fun, system
Jeez, you're
to
busy.
explore and learn about. Early week, yes. After that, I take a nice long break till I'm right back here, wearing the jacket and feeling real professional and cool, and getting to work with a bunch of really awesome people for the first time. And I'm so honored and excited to be here. Also, if I could just ping right back, absolutely love the combo dynamic we have going on there. I'm really excited to work with everyone else as well. But I thought this is a really strong place to start, and I hope we get to do more of it.
Yeah.
God, please just let me keep playing this game forever.
Well,
As I
tend
movie that we deserve.
Well, as I tend to do, I look at this cast and I look at these characters. I'm like, oh man, I hope that nobody dies, so we could just like extend this into like a longer campaign in the future with the same crew.
It's like some very
Until one of them does
difficult
die.
and still some very difficult to comprehend pieces of terrain or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Some improbable skylines.
No, that'd be fun. But yeah, that's gonna really be it for me. Of course, just a general reminder to like just as in Delta Green, the real world's a very big and scary place, but you have the power to put some good and light into it. So not only support the people you see on your screen because they're awesome, but just be good people and do good things, as Hoop would say if he was
As
here.
Hoop would say if he was
Because
here.
Santa's not only watching, I'm watching.
And Mythic
He
knows.
bugged your house, is what he's saying.
I can't wait to hear Mythic's theories on Santa Claus. But for now, let's go over to Casa.
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Casa,
Hello.
was it you who came up with Lennon and McCartney?
Yeah.
In response, I love that you guys defaulted to the Supernatural naming policy from the show Supernatural, where you name yourself after musicians. But I love that, and I just love how cool you came across. And you are a secret agent, super spy. So thank you for doing that. And I love Martini. What's going on with you? What do you have happening?
I am tomorrow. I've got episode something of Don't Rest Your Head on Other Doc on Jim's channel.
Oh,
I'm
Jim,
super
who is in
excited for
chat.
that.
Chat. What's
Jim
up,
is
Jim?
in chat. Hello. Yeah, I'm really excited because last week we didn't get to do it. So it's just a bunch of insomniacs going into the mad city where nightmares are alive, and I've drank some juice and now I have some wings. So we'll see what happens with that.
What happens?
That sounds fun. And then on the 14th, no, 15th, 15th,
Something.
I'm doing Morge Borge with Fleet finally. Morge Borge.
Mjorg.
I see it all the time, and I think it just looks really cool. But and then next week I'm back here. The week after, but it's just a quiet month because I'm trying to finish writing my novel. It's finished, so close, but getting there eventually. And
Sweet.
yeah, this is super fun. I mean, the cast is amazing, but Doc, Justin, you are just is just a show just listening to you describe everything. And yeah, and
Thanks.
we're only half of it. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
handler is awesome. It's amazing.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of it. And I can't
I
wait.
appreciate
Casa,
you.
your sunglasses are the coolest fucking thing
They are pretty
I've ever
rad
seen.
Thank you,
sunglasses.
You look like
Thank you.
you look like the form of Casa would be when you enter the Matrix to go like
Yes.
kick ass. It's
Ooh,
very
yeah.
It's
hmm
got that big like Niobe vibes.
Nice. Thank you, Casa. Live. I adore you. I adore Micro. I'm glad that I could squeeze some computers into 1994 for her, because man, she just shined. What my moment was when you were when you totally recognized Mythic, and then Micro said, "I have never seen you before," which made me laugh so hard that I almost broke and had to mute myself. But I like that tension of, I know this person, where do I know them from? It was fantastic. Tell us about yourself, please.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm having such a fun time. I usually play very like aggressive and assertive characters, so playing Micro is interesting. She's just so nervous all the time, and she wants
Mhm.
to be just as good and cool as all of her colleagues, because everybody here is just um
You're good and cool.
yeah. Yeah. You, all three of you, four of you actually, because oh my god, fucking Caesar was so funny. Anyway, me. Me and the things I do. My name is Liv. You can find me on Twitter at Live in a Day. My name is Liv. It's a day. I'm in it. I'm living it, and you're with me. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Um, this is, I'm not gonna lie, a full week. I was like, it's my birthday month. I'm gonna jam pack as many fucking games into it as possible.
Give us
Uh,
everything.
yeah, so this Saturday I will be over on Havana Rama's channel doing higher education, which is a um original D&D actual play using the Strixhaven setting, where we are all grad students who might have killed somebody. Actually, we definitely killed a student. We definitely killed a student. We killed a student last week, and now we have to deal with that. And then it's a double feature, because after that, I'll be going over to Total Party Chill and playing the messiest, thirstiest game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians you've ever experienced in your life.
Can't
With
wait.
a whole bunch of great people, including Stella Luna, C, who does art, yeah, Brandy, Scary Dog Friend Joe, so many people, such a good cast. Keith's gonna run it, incredible, a lot of fun. And then on the 16th, Friday the 16th, I will be doing a charity game where we will be playing in the land of sweets and frost and vermin and toys. We are doing a Nutcracker themed charity game where I will be playing Lady Cena Moore of the land of sweets, and I'm fucking delighted. I'm so excited to play that game. Um yeah,
Sounds
and
awesome.
those are the big things. Yeah. So please
Awesome.
hang out. At least come see the charity game and support
Yeah.
us as we raise money for good
Thank you,
causes this
Liv.
holiday season. Of
Thank you.
course.
And come back here on the 22nd to see the second half of this game and how it ends for everybody involved. And there will be no, if you're tired of Christmas already, if you don't need a little Christmas just this very minute, I promise that the second half of this has nothing to do with Christmas. So just come in on the 22nd and just relax with that, and this is a safe place. Or if you want, I can put some Christmas stuff in there. I can just get like some jingle bells from Epidemic Sound, one of our sponsors, and just sort of put that in the background for the whole time.
I mean, that's how you make a Christmas version of any song, right? You
You
just
just
throw
put
some
jingle
sleigh
bells on
in
it.
the
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
basically
Mhm.
does it. Yeah.
Yep.
Just need a
Pretty
little
much.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm Doc Rimbo. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitch, Twitter, and if Hive ever comes back, Hive. And I am also I have my own channel where I mostly play Red Dead Redemption 2 role playing, which is a modded server that is hugely popular, and it's a blast. I'm usually streaming that a couple days a week and then playing games the rest of the week. The next thing I have coming up for certain is the 22nd. And so I'll be doing a lot of prep for that this week and next and figuring out how things are going to go. But we appreciate you so much. Thank you to Lost Caravan and to our sponsors one more time. And everybody stick around for the rest of the one-shots this month and Mechromancers and all the other established shows around here. Wherever you are, like Hoop says, be good. Things are good. Bye.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Got in one.